Good morning, happy Wednesday. I'm wearing a scarf in April. Yeah, greetings from the not so spring-like Yakima or Selah. Yes, I'm in Selah, Yakima County. Yes, so I just want to talk a little bit today about the spring market and people talking about, oh my gosh, you guys, interest rates are going up and no one's good and prices are going to drop. And all right, so let's talk about this just a little bit. Okay, first and foremost, prices are still, things are still going over asking. If they're priced right, marketed well, in good condition, I'm not saying perfect condition. Perfect conditions, definitely getting really more looks, but we're still seeing homes going above listing price. So are interest rates going up? Yes. And if you have more questions about that, talk to your local lender. They are talking about it all the time. And if you are not talking to a lender that's talking about what's going on with the market, find a local lender who is talking about what's going on with the market. They're going to be your resource and you should check in with them. You're going to want to check in. If you have a pre-approval letter, you've had it for like 4 or 5 months, you should probably check in with your lender and see what's going on, because the thing about interest rates going up is your buying power is going to go down. So if you have a really great, healthy, big range, it may not affect you as much. But if you have a tight little budget, you're going to want to check with your local lender. Okay. Buying power, when interest rates go up, buying power goes down. Does that mean the prices are going down? Not necessarily. We're not seeing that right now. What we're seeing is busy spring market. Despite this crazy weather, we're seeing over asking. Things are still going under contract. I have active buyers, and my buyers pool has picked up in the last month, picked up just because spring's here, despite the snow. So it's still a great time to sell. It's still a good time to buy. Obviously, you're going to be in competition, but there's things that you can do to get your offer noticed. Having a local lender is a huge thing. Lenders are offering different lending programs too to help your offer. You can do different levels with your lender. You can get really, really pre-approved, so you're not just like filling out that 15-second pre-approval. You can do more and get yourself ready. Working with the local realtor who is on top of what's going on in the market, getting into those listings right away, being aware of, what's being done. Are you doing a pre-inspection? Are you waiving inspection, which you still should do an inspection, even if you decide to waive it? What are things that you can do to get your offer noticed? Putting down more earnest money, going above list price. There's things to do. We bought our home last August, 6 offers above list price. We put additional money down in case there was a low appraisal. All the things that we do, we're still doing those things. So yeah, it's busy, but it hasn't not been busy for the last few, 2018, spring of 2018. Yeah, it's been busy since the spring of 2018, you guys. It has not, when COVID started, there was a couple weeks where we couldn't get into houses and you couldn't do things, but it really hasn't stopped being busy for the last few years. Does that mean it's always going to be busy? Does that mean it's always going to be a seller's market? Absolutely not. When we see things consistently, like super low appraisals all the time because things are just going wonky doodle, when we're seeing things staying on the market longer, price drops consistently, when we're starting to see things like that, those might be indications, but right now we're not seeing that we're just not. So my best advice, because I'm not a local lender, but I know local lenders. If you're wondering about what's going on with the interest rate, talk to your local lender. It should be your number one anyway if you're planning to sell your house or buy your house. If you're trying to sell and refinance, you're going to want to talk to your lender, but you're going to want to talk to your lender if you're planning to buy. And if you're just curious about interest rates, local lenders are your go-to. They are looking at those numbers every single day. Probably as much as I look at houses every day, they're looking at those numbers. So they know what's going on. They know what they're doing. They know how to help you to have a strong offer, to have strong financing. And if you don't have a local lender who you're working with, when someone says I need local lenders, I have a list of local lenders who I've worked with, who I talk to on a consistent basis, who I use personally for my loans, who I recommend, who I know them, and I know the kind of service they're offering, and I know the kind of things they're doing, that they're involved in the community, that they're easy to get hold of, that they're on top of what market trends. Like that's what you want. You want someone who's local. It makes your offer stronger. It makes you feel better because you know what's going on. You can call them. You don't have to wait till 4 o'clock. You're like, oh no, I can't talk to the lender because they're on the East Coast. And you want to talk to someone who's in your community, because those are the people that are in your community and they're doing the same thing you are. They're buying and selling and working in the community as well. So so that's my big thing is if you're worried about what interest rates are doing, don't just worry or assume. When I started in April of 2018, so I'm going to year 5, the rates were 5 or 6%. Okay, they're not there yet. And I always think about this because we had in-person biweekly meetings, which, or bi-monthly meetings, which we're not doing right now yet, but we're still doing our meetings. And I remember people going like, my parents bought it at 11. My parents bought it at 13. You know what I mean? Like, oh my gosh. So we're not even there. Thank the Lord. We're not at 11 or 13. But yeah, like things are going up and you need to be aware, but people are still going to be buying houses. People still need to move. People still have, they've outgrown or they're adding family or their situations have changed. So we're still seeing a busy market right now. That's what's going on right now. If it changes, if we see changes, obviously your lender's going to be aware of it. Real estate agents are going to be aware of it. We're going to be educating you. We're going to bring you the information. That's our job as well. So if you have questions, let me know. Have a wonderful day. It's the middle of the week. My kids are bundled up in their winter clothes that I almost put away this weekend, and I'm glad I didn't. So have a great week. If you have questions, let me know. I'm happy to help. Okay, bye.